So the NBA trade line has ended like a month or so ago, and I want to assess how all these trades have gone so far. And let's be real, some of these trades have been good, some of them have been trash, fam. Oh my goodness gracious! So we need to assess how these trades have gone, and it's obviously real exciting because now you have a lot of teams who, like, now they have a chance to like make a playoff run, like the Lakers and the Warriors, and we're gonna get more into that this episode. So let's get into today's episode, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing.
So let's start off with the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. So the Golden State Warriors, they deserve a big full-time W. Andrew Wiggins, unfortunately, he has left, but he did some great things for the Warriors. But let's be real, he has those stretches where it looks like he hasn't picked up a basketball like a day in his life. And honestly, this whole Jimmy Butler trade, Jimmy Butler now going to the Golden State Warriors, this works for the Warriors now. We now see Steph Curry, who's been really efficient lately. They won 4 straight games, and they've been winning and winning as of lately. They're the 6th seed right now. With Jimmy Butler's presence and his physicality and his defensive presence and his rebounding presence, that's something that the Golden State Warriors love to have, and it's been like really good for them as of like right now. And like now you're seeing them win more games. They're having great playing hopes and title hopes and playoff hopes. Unfortunately though, the West is really stacked. Like you got Shea and the OKC Thunder and the Lakers, and you got the Houston Rockets, and a lot of teams from the West, like they're getting into form, and it's gonna be tough for the Golden State Warriors to even like make like a playoff route, like a playoff run. But we see Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, and we know what he's great at doing. So you can really trust him like in that playoff like situation, and he could potentially like pull the Golden State Warriors to like to the conference finals or the finals victory. Who knows? But we see those accomplishments from him, and the Golden State Warriors definitely have a big time chance. They're winning more games. Curry's been efficient. That's a W trade for them. However, for the Miami Heat though, it's an L, and I'm sorry for this because the Heat, they've been struggling with Terry Rozier at the beginning of the year. Bam Adebayo, he's been really good this year, but we can't expect him to lead the team all by himself. And even though Tyler Hero, he's a great shooter, like they need some like all-stars to like go along with them. Like if you had like someone say like, let's say Giannis Antetokounmpo, who wants to get out of Milwaukee, you got LaMelo Ball, who he's been rising this year. Even though like he's in and out with injuries, which is a problem, you can actually get that star like right next to those guys. Because right now they don't have like stars right now, so it's gonna be really tough for them. They're the 9th seed right now. They're clinching in playing tournament hopes, but that could potentially change because of these tough teams they're gonna have to face. So the Miami Heat, they're definitely going to deserve an L for this one, but it's not a mean L or like a crazy L. They have potential to be like a really good team, but it's going to be an L right now. Next up, we got the Washington Wizards and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Wizards, they acquired Chris Middleton, and it hasn't been looking too good for them this year. The Wizards are officially the worst team in the Eastern Conference right now, and Kuzma, he went to the Bucks, and he's been looking really efficient. He's been averaging 15 points as of now, and the Bucks, they definitely deserve the W. And because Middleton, he hasn't really like done a lot since 2021. He's been like in and out with injuries, and like he really can't do half of the things that he's capable of like anymore. And it's really sad because that's something that the Milwaukee Bucks needed, and now like they're getting like eliminated really early on, and they're like, okay, we can't like deal with this anymore, so we need to trade you. And honestly, it's a good trade as of right now because Kuzma's giving the Milwaukee Bucks title hopes. They're like, I think they're the 4th seed right now. They're right behind the New York Knicks, so they definitely have title hopes. Giannis, he's obviously one of the best players that we've ever seen. The only thing with him is though he doesn't have a bag, but he doesn't need a bag because he's that huge, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But let's be real. But the Wizards really can't do much now. You have Jordan Poole, who he's like doing his own thing with his own team, and a lot of people thought like, hey, he's gonna have his own team and they're gonna be really good. For a person who averages 21 points a game, he can't win anything at all, fam. So, like, ever since he left Golden State, his stuff hasn't been looking too good for him. His reputation of shooting, like his shooting ability, it turns on and off, like, sometimes during, like, a couple games. And he needs, like, some stars, like, right next to him. If Middleton can be able to do the things that he's capable of, like his shooting ability and his, like, inside presence, then then the Wizards will have a chance. But right now, Middleton does not look like he can be doing that. So the Wizards are going to deserve the L for this one. So now you're giving the Milwaukee Bucks title hopes now with the Kyle Kuzma trade. So they definitely have title hopes now. So the Bucks, they're going to get the W for this one. And the Washington Wizards, you guys get the L. Also, they're a very irrelevant franchise, so it doesn't really matter. Like, a lot of people do not talk about the Washington Wizards like that anymore, so it's sad for y'all, so I'm sorry. The next team is the Lakers and the Mavericks. Obviously, this is going to go down in the NBA as one of the craziest trades in, like, the history. As we all know, Luka to the Lakers and Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. And it's obvious that the Lakers, they have won this trade. You got Luka, who is, like, literally a shooter. He's a merchant at shooting. And even though his defense is not there, like how Anthony Davis's defense was there, because he has, like, that rim protection and he's going to be able to go inside and be able to contest, it doesn't matter because now the Lakers are scoring a lot more points. Luka's been averaging like 26 points this year, and he's been carrying the Lakers. And right now, they're the 3rd seed right now, after they started off as like the 9th seed or like the 7th seed. They started off slow in the year, and now you add this shooting merchant, and now you guys have a chance now. And as a Knicks fan, yeah, obviously you guys see me, the Knicks merch. I hate it so much because the Lakers win everything. They have title hopes every single year, and it gets on my nerves. But hey, you gotta respect it, fam. But the Mavericks, they're gonna take the L for this one because Anthony Davis, 99% of the time, he's gonna get injured. He's injury prone all the time, and even though he has great rim protection and is a great rim finisher, it really doesn't matter because you now have Kyrie, who's out for the rest of the year. Number one, y'all are cursed. Number two, you guys are gonna have a really bumpy road, like moving on without both stars. So it's gonna be tough for Anthony Davis to really do anything now because now he doesn't have that point guard to really feed him in the paint. And he's also going to get, like, he's going to be in and out with injuries. So it's going to be tough for the Mavericks right now. Right now, they've been losing a lot of games now. So they definitely cannot get back to the caliber that they were before. So this year, it's going to be really tough for them. So the Mavericks are going to deserve the L for this one. But with both stars come back, though, we're going to see how that plays out. It's kind of fair to say that it's tough to say because Kyrie's out now and, like, they didn't play a lot of games together like that. So if we see them next year, we'll see how, how great, like, they move on as a unit next year. But as of this year, they're going to deserve an L. Next up, we got the Spurs and the Sacramento Kings. So it's fair to say both teams suck. The Sacramento Kings, they don't really have a lot of all-star talent on that team. They have DeMar DeRozan, who's been really decent. They have Sabonis, he's been snubbed of an all-star game for the 2nd year in a row. And it really hasn't been looking too good for him pretty much that year. So you pretty much have you now have 2 guys, it's mid on mid. So the Kings, they're barely clinching in playing hopes. But you have the Spurs, who's like a potential dynasty in the NBA because you have Wembanyama, who's been really good. You got Chris Paul, a really old point guard who still can score on certain levels, but he obviously sometimes doesn't have the speed and stuff like that anymore like he used to because he's 39 years old. Almost, I think he's probably 40 years old. He's getting old, and he might have 1 or 2 years left, so it's going to be tough for them. You still have Stephon Castle, who's actually a really great player. He's a beast. He's feasting, and he's in the run for Rookie of the Year. And then you also got De'Aaron Fox, who's also really efficient, and he can go behind Chris Paul because we know Chris Paul can't do a lot of things by himself anymore. He can't do a lot of the point guard things. He's a great assist person. He can pass the ball great, and he can feed Wemby inside, but with Wembanyama being out for the whole year, it's definitely going to be hard for them because they definitely missed the inside presence of Wemby inside. This 7'5" Demi god who's like in there, it's gonna be tough for them. Right now, like they're trying to win games, they're fighting and trying to win games, but it's either them being blown out or like them losing by like a little bit. And that's like by like 5 points, 9 points. So they're definitely having a really hard time winning as of now. But you can't bail on the Kings. The Kings aren't really that good, really. They're not that good. So I think it is fair to say that the Spurs will win this trade. They're going to deserve the W for this trade. But you also got a W for the Sacramento Kings because they definitely have a lot of scoring now, but they potentially could get worse because like without De'Aaron Fox, because they started that uphill stuff with De'Aaron Fox on the squad. So we don't really think that he's gonna like, without him on the team, it's gonna be tough for them to move up in the conference. So DeMar DeRozan, he's a great player, decent player, but we don't really think like in terms of all-star potential, he's not really there yet. So I think the Kings will probably deserve a W. I'm going to put a W on both sides for this one. Because, it's fair to say, because both teams aren't even that good, really. So I think we're going to give a W for both teams. And the last trade, we got DeAndre Hunter going to the Cavs. And this is actually a really good trade for the Cavs, honestly. The Cavs, one of the best teams in the league right now, and they have championship hopes. And they potentially could win the championship this year, but they got to get past Boston. So they traded LeVert and George Niang. And let's be real, the Hawks got a little bit worse. They're starting to move down in their conference now. They're the 8th seed right now, and their defense really isn't there. Trae Young, who's one of the most underrated players in the league, he needs that all-star help, and he doesn't really have that right now. If he can get that help, then he'll be good. And the Hawks can move on in their conference. So they didn't really trust Hunter like that because he's in and out with injuries and he's questionable a lot of the times. So they trade him to the Cavs, and now they might turn into a God squad. And this is similar to when Jrue Holiday, when the Milwaukee Bucks, they decided to trade Jrue Holiday to the Celtics for Dame Dollar. So it's kind of like the same thing because once they got Jrue Holiday, they became a God squad and they won a championship. And this could be the case for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the number 1 seed right now, best team in the league, but they got to get past Boston and all these other teams. They got to get past Boston, the New York Knicks. But I think Boston is going to be their number 1 priority because their defense is crazy. And all in all, they could score. Jason Tatum, and you got Jason Tatum, you got Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Jrue Holiday for defense, and it's gonna be tough for them. You also got Porzingis in there, but that's definitely gonna be a really hard series. That could be a conference finals this year, so that's definitely gonna be the case for the Cavs. So they're definitely gonna be one of the best teams. They potentially might win the championship, but they got Boston right behind them, and they're trying to go for the second straight championship in a row. So I think this is a W trade for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is going to be an L for the Hawks because you guys definitely cannot get back into that caliber as y'all were before. Even though y'all still have Ricochet, he's still a really good player. It's going to take him some time to really evolve into your franchise because it's his first year, so it's going to take him some time. So maybe next year we'll see some more improvement from him. But that's going to be next year, though. But as of now, the Hawks are getting the L. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. There's been a lot of crazy trades this year, and I can't wait to see how this full goes on and with the playoffs. The playoffs are coming soon. I think they're next month. It is going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what happens. We got March Madness coming up soon. Next week, we're doing a segment on my predictions for the first round of the March Madness playoffs. And it's going to be a real fun time. I'm going to take y'all through my bracket and who I think is going to be winning those rounds. It might be a really long video next time. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hopefully on Monday or Sunday I might be posting that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys leave a like. Make sure you guys subscribe and comment down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.